Hello everyone and good day Sir Janus. We are here today to present our created project, which is a menu-driven curriculum system. But before we start, let me introduce our members. For our group members, we have Amasakert Benedict A, Angeles Raziel T, Atienza Claren R, Castillo Carl M, De La Cruz Rich Kyle Lauren G, Dugan Raymar B, Estayani John E. Lord, Fajardo Kim Daryl, Guerland John Paul T, and lastly myself, De Acosta Jan Jedza. Now, so that is all for our introduction, and now let's proceed to the presentation.
Good day, Sir Janus. I am John Ellard Estayani with student number 2100974, and I will be explaining the UML class diagram and its multiplicity. Our program is composed of 4 classes, including the main program where the main entry of execution is located. Now here displayed in our UML class diagram are 3 major classes: the course, program, and curriculum class. Our program is a composition type of class associations since it is a strong association with whole-part relationship. In other words, if one object is destroyed or missing, the whole program cannot continue. Now, first, let me discuss the program class and course class. Inside the program class are different class fields and its specific data types: program name, year, semester, course, and an array list that will hold the stored values later. Now, in the third compartment, you can see the methods used inside the class, and excluding the getters and setters. Program class is the parent class of course class. And now, let's proceed to the course class. Course class is the child class of program class. That's why the symbol we use to connect these two classes are the arrowhead with multiplicity, since it is a inheritance from another class, or should I say, from its parent class. Same with the program. The methods and class fields are written in their specific compartments. And now, let me discuss the multiplicity of these two classes. Let's say the program is the set of subjects in a specific course. Based in reality, or like in reality, once you chose your course, there are specific subjects that you will take. Or in much deeper words, or in other words, the program can have one or many in a course, while the course can have only one in a program. Another scenario, to compare it in a reality situation. There are one set of subjects or program inside a one course. Now let's proceed to the curriculum class and program class. We use the composition symbol to connect these two classes. Since the program is connected to the course, these two classes cannot stand alone without the curriculum. Vice versa. And now for its multiplicity. Program can have one to many inside a curriculum, and a curriculum can have one inside a program. Or in real life scenario, program can have one or many since there are lots of courses and different programs in a curriculum. While the curriculum can only have one in a program because all the programs and courses only follow one curriculum. And that's it for our UML class diagram of our program. Thank you.
Good day Sir Janus. I am John Jedsel de Acosta and my student number is 2101345. So I am here today to present and discuss the program class of our curriculum system. So now let's proceed. So this class starts by instantiating private class fields. As you can see here, we instantiated private string program name, private integer year, private integer semester, private course, and an array list named list course, which only accepts an object for course. And we also include a getter and setter method for the private program, year, and semester. And as for the constructors is that we created a parameterized constructor that holds the value of program name, year, and the semester that we can use later. Now let's proceed to the methods of this class. Now as for the methods is the first method that you can see here is a method named add program, where here you can add a course object that contains a specific course details inside the array list named as list course, or in short for list curriculum course. Now excuse me. The next method is a return method named program details, where here in this program it returns the details of program name, year, and semester. Now as you can see here, the next method is also a return type method named course list. In this method is first we instantiate a new string variable course which is equal to null. After that is we use a for each loop to display the content of this list course. And then since as you can see the variable name course is now equal to the course details, we can now return it in order to get all the course and its details inside the list. Now as for the last method, this method is also a return type method, which is the get full details method. This method is for getting the full details of a program by calling the other method that is already inside the program class, which are the method program details and course list that will display the program and the courses together. And that is all for the program class. Thank you.
Good day, Sir Janos. I am Michael Lorenzi de la Cruz, and I'll be discussing this course class. First of all, to achieve the program requirements, our group created the 4 classes, which are the course class, curriculum class, program class, and the main program or the main class. So I'll be focusing on discussing this course class in order to evaluate whether the course is the basic unit of curriculum. This block of code of course class uses the extends keyword, which allows a program to inherit the attributes and methods from course class. This class has 4 class fields, which are the strings that stores the course name, the strings that stores the course code, a double for the course unit. We used a double instead of an integer so that the displaying of the unit is the same as the conventional way of displaying units in a card or in a assessment form. As we can see, that has a point 0 or point many 0. And also, we created an object of program to access the function of this class. Moreover, we created an array list that initialized and stores the list of course named list of curriculum course into a program. We use setter and getter methods that getter returns its value. However, setter that sets our or updates its value. In other words, this method is important role in retrieving and updating the value of the variable outside the encapsulation class. Encapsulating class. In a default constructor named course is to initialize the attribute of the object in a program, and the constructor with parameters is the course code, course name, course unit that pass on the respective values to using this notation. The next method, named add course, where when the user add an program object that contains specific program details inside the array list, named as list core course, or in short, list curriculum course. Lastly, this method's name course detail that returns a string in a format stringable for display, and that includes the course class.
Good day, Sir Janos. My name is Raziel Angeles from PSIT 2ITA. My student number is 210319. Today I will explain the curriculum class, what does it contain, and I will explain also the method add curriculum. What does it do? Now, first, this class contains a buffered reader named in, two array lists named list program, list course, which accepts program for list programs and accepts object courses from the list course. Next, we have two string variable named regex pattern, subject validation pattern. All will be used for validation purposes. Next is a Boolean variable named exit loop with a default value of true. Next, we have a default constructor, so it can be accessed from each and every class. Next, we have the main part of my explanation named add curriculum, which the purpose or objective of this method is to add or create a program that will be added to the list program and a course that will also be added to the list course. Now this method has its own class fields. First, we start off with a string named program name, an integer variable, year, semester, and capacity, two string variable also, course code, course name, and a double variable, course unit, which all of them has the value of 0 and null. Next, after that, we have this set of block of code, which is simple enough that it will ask you to enter the name of program or the program name you want. Now, all of this user input has its own validation code. Now, after inputting that, it will pass through here. Now, if the input is empty or black, and if the program name matches or doesn't match subject validation pattern, which is a string object for validation, then it will input this error. If it's empty, it will input this, and if it's not a character or a valid character, it will input this. If it passes, then we move on to the next block of code, which asks the user of, or let the user select what college year does this program will be, either 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, same as this, after the user inputs, it will pass through this code. Now, if the integer input is less than 0 or greater than 4 or greater than or equal to 5, then obviously it will be an invalid input because we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 years of college. If it's the other, if it's not an integer, this error will pop. Now, next line of code will be semesters 1, 2, which is similar to this block of code, which also accepts integer value right here. The validation code is clear and similar, only that it's accept greater than 3, not 5. So it's accept an integer value of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then semesters 1 and 2. Now, after the user inputs all of them will be passed through here, program name here, the year here, the semester here. If that accepts it, then they will be added to a array list named list program, which I already told you about, and they will be called object program. Now, after that is added, now the user will ask you, or the program, will ask you how many courses you want to add in this program. Now, if once again a validation if you did not type a integer. Now, considering how many you want to add, if it's 5, then the program will loop 5 times, asking you 5 times of entering a course. If you enter 1, we'll pass through here. First block of code will ask the user to enter a course code. An example of a course code is CCS108. Now the validation is similar to the adding of program name. After that, we move on to the next block of code. Enter course name. What course name do you want? Maybe Java programming, data structures, you name it. Then the validation code is the same as the rest of this. Next, the program will now ask you what unit course you want, or how many units you want in that course. After that, a validation will pass through. If there's no error, it will go through. If there's not, this will be printed out. After that, all of this will be accepted in the object course parameters, course code, course name, and course units. If they are all accepted, then they will be added to the list course name, and they will be named object course. List course is the array list I told you about right here. Then after that, right here, I'm sorry. Right here, sorry. Now after that, the object program and the course will be added using, will be combined by this method, that add program. Now, that add program will not be explained by me, fortunately, and it will be explained by my other group mates. Now, after that, they will be combined and added to object program. Now, next is object.add course, which add program and add course is similar, except it's vice versa. Other than course adding to the program will be added to the course. Now, after all of that is done, they will simply the program will simply print out a new curriculum successfully added, telling the user that the program and the course they inputted is successfully added. Now, that sums it up for my explanation of this whole block of huge code. I hope I explained it to you properly and clearly. Now, I thank you for you all listening and for my explanation. And once again, my name is Raziel T. Angeles, and I thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Carl Lawrence M. Castillo, and my student number is 1903009. Today I will explain how public void add additional works. First, we have string method name, course code, name, and unit. These class fields will represent as a base so we can call them later. Here, the user will select a program and ask to enter a name of your program. We use if-else condition to validate if the user enters something or not. Then if the requirements have met and the condition is matches, it'll go to exit loop, which stops the code from running. And then we use int or integer program index and index as its base so we can call them anytime. Here we call index is set to 0 and index is less than, and we call from an inherited class. Then we use incrementation. Now list program that get will get the data from inherited class program. As a result, if the program doesn't exist, it'll print the error imputed program doesn't exist. After that, if the program has been found, then it will proceed to else condition where the user needs to enter the course code. If a user enter blank, then the output will give an error saying that the field is empty, or if the user enter an invalid character, it'll print please enter a valid character. Here. It is the same on the course name. A user enter a blank, the output will give an error saying that the field is empty. Or if the user entered an invalid character, it will print please enter a valid character too. After that, it will proceed to do while loop, and try catch user will be required to enter its course unit, and try catch will check if there is an error. If so, it will print an error message saying that the user type is not an integer. Here. After it exits, we declare course as its object course so we can call later. The program will get the list course from its inherited class. Then it will add some program that have been stored and print a message saying that a new course to a program is successfully added. it. That's all, and thank you.
Hi, I am Kim Darfardo and I'm going to discuss the method modify details. So we have here some variables. Boolean is running set to true and string search code is equal to null. If the user selects the modify details option, the print message will pop up. If the list course is empty, the error message will pop up. Else, it will proceed and ask the user to input the course code in order to find the list. This if statement is a simple validation for checking if the user really does inputted a value or the inputted value is invalid. So here, this in course index instantiate a new variable that will hold the position of an element in the list course. Below is for loop for searching if the inputted course code is existing inside the program course. If the user's inputted course code doesn't exist, it will display an error message. Else, it will proceed and ask the user to choose in the menu for modifying a certain detail. We used a try catch here in order to validate the user's inputted course code. We have here a validation that if the user's input is less than or equal to 0 and it is greater than 4, it will display an error message and loop back. We have here a switch statement. Here in case 1, if the user choose option 1, it will display the course name and the program ask the user for a new course name. Below is a simple if statement for validation for checking if the user really does inputted a value or the inputted value is invalid. The error message will pop up if any of the validation is triggered. Below is for getting the specific index of a course and setting its course name to the user's new course name. Here, in case 2, if the user choose option 2, it will modify the course code and ask the user for a new course code. Below is a simple if statement for validation for checking if the user really does inputted a value or the inputted value is invalid. Same in case 1, if any of the validation is triggered, the error message will pop up. Below is for getting the specific index of a course and setting its course code to the user's new course code. So we are here in case 3. If the user choose option 3, it will modify the course unit and ask the user for new course unit. If the user input is not an integer, the error message will pop up. Below is for getting the specific index of a course and setting its course unit to the user's new unit. Here in case 4, if the user choose option 4, it will exit the loop. That's all. Thank you.
In this block of code, we'll be able to define how searching a program works inside this menu-driven program. This requires the input field to accept user input that is only related based on the existing elements within the list. We implemented conditionals for validation of the input field. Under this line of code, course name that matches subject validation pattern, this would exit or terminate the program when the user inputs special characters, and under course name that is blank if the user input field is empty. For the next line of codes, starting on program index, it will instantiate a new variable that will hold the position of an element into this program. Under the for loop, it starts to traverse or access each element that is stored within the list, and it would check if the inputted program is existing or is not stored in the list. If the program name is not on the list, it will tell the user, or it will display an error message that states that the inputted program does not exist. Else, it will display the full details of a certain program.
Good day, Sir Janus. I am Atienza Claren and my student number is 1903226. I am here to explain the method inside the curriculum class, which is the method view program that is one of the menus of our curriculum system. Our method starts by declaring an integer variable year and semester which is equal to 0. And then, as you can see, here we added a simple validation that if the list program is empty, it will display an error message. However, if the list program is not empty, we'll proceed to the methods function. In order to display a program, we need to ask the user if the where or what year they implemented a specific programs. We also added a validation if the user's inputted year is less than 0 or greater than 4, it will display an error message. After this is that we instantiate a new variable that will hold the position of an element in the list program, and then we traverse through the list program to find if the user's inputted program year is existing inside the program list. And then if the user's inputted year does not exist, it will display an error message. But if the year exists, it will ask the user where or what semesters they implemented a certain specific program. Same as before we added a validation. A validation if the user's inputted semester is less than 0 or greater than 2, it will display an error message. And we instantiated a variable that will hold the position of an element in the list program. Again, we traverse through the list program to find if the user's inputted semester is existing inside the program list. If the user inputted semester does not exist, will display an error message. However, if the semester is found inside the program list, it will display all the programs in a specific year and semester. For displaying is what we did, here is we traversed through the list program and we added an if statement that if the user's year and program matches the year and semester inside the program list, it will display that specific program using the get full details. And that's all for today.
Good day, Sir Janus. I'm John Paul Guelan, 170351. I'm here to explain and discuss the content of the main class in our curriculum system. The first thing we did in this class is that we initiate a new object that will hold the functions of the curriculum class and get its methods. We also added a buffer reader that will hold the value of the user input. And we declare an integer type variable name option which equal to 0 and a boolean type variable name exit loop which is equal to true, which we will use later for exiting a loop. As you can see that we added a different option or menus for our curriculum system and created it is a menu driven program. The menu consists of 6 options which are create a program, adding a new course to program, modify the details of the course, search a program, view a program, and lastly, the exit to exit the program. The first thing we did here in our drive-in program, we put the case switch system inside a do-while loop so that the system will flow continuously unless the user wish to exit. So the next one is as for the functionality of our menu is that we use a case switch statement where first, if the user select option 1, we call our initiated object, which is the object curriculum, in order call the add curriculum method that is inside the curriculum. This line of code will call the add curriculum method, which allows the user to create a new curriculum. Second, if the user select option 2, we call our initiated object, which is the object curriculum, in order call the method that is inside the curriculum. This line of code will call the additional method, which allows the user to add an additional course to a specific program. Third, if the user select option 3, we call our initiate object again, which is the object curriculum, in order call the method that is inside the curriculum. This line code will call the modify details method, which allow the user to modify a specific course inside the program. If the user select option 4, we call our initiate object, which is the object curriculum, in order to call the search method that is inside the curriculum. This line code will call the search method, which allow the user to search a specific program inside the system and display its courses. If the user select option 5, we call our initiate object, which is the object curriculum, in order call the view method that is inside the curriculum class. This line code will call the view program method, which allows the user to view programs depending on where or what semester or you implemented it. And last, if the user select option 6, the system will exit.
Good day, my name is Raymar Dugan and I will present the demonstration of the program. In the first run, the user will see the curriculum menu options. There is 6 options. Number 1 is create a program. Number 2, add additional course to a program. Number 3, modify the details of a course. Number 4, search a program. Number 5, view a program. And lastly, 6 is exit. So first, I will create a program. For example, OBE. Also, we can enter more programs. College year 1, semesters 1. Then I will input how many course I want to add. Example, 3. Enter course code CCS108. Course name, programming. Course unit 3. After that, you will notice the message that a new curriculum successfully added. Then again, we will input course code. For example, Act 101. Course name, accounting. Course unit 2. Again, we will notice a new curriculum successfully added. Last course code is PED103. Course name PE. Course unit is 1. Again, you will notice the message that a new curriculum successfully added. After that, you will see the curriculum menu options again. Then, I will add a new course to a program by choosing option number 2. Select program, enter program name OBE. Course code example STS101. Course name STS. Course unit is 4. After that, you will notice the message adding a new course to a program successfully added. Then in curriculum menu options, I will modify the details of a course. For example, CCS108. Enter the course code. CS108. Yan. I will modify the details of, for example, I will update the course name programming. Big letters. Now we will see the update course information. I will update the course code by selecting number 2, CCS108, big letters. Lastly, the unit, course unit. 5. As you can see, the updated has been changed. Now, we will exit to the menu options. As we continue, I will search a program. Enter program name OBE. After that, you will see the display of the details of the program OBE. Lastly, I will view a program. Enter year level 1. Enter semester 1. As you can see, it will display the details of a program. The difference of a search program and view program. In the search program, the user needs to enter the program name to display the search details of a program. Then the view a program, the user will enter the year level and semester to display the details of a program. That's all for the demonstration of the program.